Springfest and Ego Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select trimmer, blower, or mower kit. Plus, shop today for new and exclusive items you need for your lawn. So get ready for spring with the latest in innovation from Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Only at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Erin.
And you're listening to Ropedrop Parkhop.
Good morning.
Take 2.
We had to figure out our mics. They weren't great. They're better now.
Yes. There's always mic issues every week, I swear. We push the same buttons and they do different things every time we try.
I think that's the downside of using a
public space?
Yes, something that other people can come in and mess with.
Yeah.
We don't get to just keep it. Someday we'll just have our own. Let's make that soon.
We'll build our own recording studio in somebody's backyard.
Or we'll just get our own soundboard and a couple microphones. I don't think we would really need the studio if we had microphones and a good soundboard. I think we could swing it.
Maybe.
I think people do it in their living room. Like I see podcasts that I listen to that have really great sound quality that people are sitting on their couch.
Yeah, but their dogs aren't crawling around fighting with each other.
This is true.
I can't even be on a phone call in my house without the dogs acting up.
Lock them in the backyard.
Let's read a review, and then we'll get into some news. This is from 2 years ago, and it is from Mindiola. And they say, so glad I found this podcast a couple of weeks ago. I go to Walt Disney World multiple times a year and decided to celebrate my big 50th. I'd like to go back to Disneyland with my Disney girls. 2 of us haven't been in at least 13 years, and the other 2 have never been. I sometimes feel like I'm reinventing the wheel in terms of planning compared to Walt Disney World. You're not wrong. They are 2 different animals, which we'll talk about a little bit today. Your pod has been just what I needed. Thanks for the clear and concise info. Loving every episode, and I got a real kick out of this week's with the kiddos. Thanks so much, and keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Speaking of the kiddos, I don't know if Jack has said this, but my kids have said they'd love to come do a trip recap.
Okay.
They'd love to do an episode.
Sure.
So we should plan a day where we can bring them along.
We can probably make that happen.
Yeah. Because they want to talk about it.
Yeah. And we are coming up on summer soon, sooner than I probably am prepared for.
I know.
But they will probably for sure do at least a handful of episodes this summer again because they like it, I think.
I think so too. So get excited.
Get excited.
I know that's from 2 years ago.
Yes.
But get excited. They'll be back.
Yes.
Okay. Some news at the Disneyland Resort. There were a few announcements this week. We got some new Downtown Disney information. We're getting a couple of new shops. Lululemon, you're excited about that one.
Super excited, especially with the new Lululemon Disney collab. I'm hoping that they expand on that a little bit. You see a lot of that in the parks these days. So it's very popular.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they will.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep that partnership and expand on it. And it'll be fun to have another retail shop.
That's going to go down in that ESPN zone, which we kind of speculated on what they would put there. I really still think a Coke store would be great.
Yes.
I do. I think it would be great to have a Club Cool where you can go in and taste the drinks. That's a really popular thing in Orlando. And so Disney, if you're listening, give us a second floor and put Coke up there. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
anyway, Lululemon's cool.
It's a big building. I feel like
It
it
is a
can
very
fit
big
more than
building.
3 shops in there. So then there's also a boba shop going in.
And they're not all going in right there. One is going over by Marvel. By the Avengers Outpost. What's it called? Avengers.
I don't remember what it's called, but where's their room over there?
I don't know. But so this is what so Nectar Life. Is that what you were going to talk about? Nectar Life.
Well, that's the soap place.
Oh,
the boba
yes.
place is the.
Okay, you talk about the boba place, and then we'll talk about the Nectar Life.
It's a boba place. I don't know what it's
There's
called.
boba and
There's
Bopogo.
Bopogo,
and it is a new cafe concept that is planned expressly for Downtown Disney. It's the first of its kind. Apparently, there is a franchise throughout Southern California.
I was going to say it's an existing franchise.
Bopomofo Cafe.
Are we allowed to say that on the podcast?
I mean, that's what it's called. Bopomofo Cafe, with several locations throughout Southern California. And the new Bopo Go will serve the same high-quality, authentic boba bubble tea using only real fruits, vegetables, lactose-free milk, oat milk, cane or brown sugar, and no artificial ingredients. My goodness. And they don't say exactly where that's going, but Nectar Life.
Nectar Life, which is a bath bar,
Yes, it's a bakery-inspired bath bar.
like a blending bar. I don't know. Do other people have Lush around where they are? I feel like Lush is probably a pretty
Similar.
popular, yeah. And I think, and then there's one in the Grand Floridian.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
kind of a similar
Basin.
bath bar. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is moisturizing whipped soaps, body scrubs, exfoliating hand washes, and gift sets.
I bet it smells yummy.
Probably.
I see a picture of it.
It's very cute.
It's very cute. It's very bright.
Yes. And they say, this is how I know, you'll have an opportunity to check out their products when a pop-up opens in the district this spring prior to the store opening later this year near Avengers Reserve.
Is this what we're calling Downtown Disney now?
The district?
The district.
Oh, that's interesting. That verbiage is interesting.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I think the full name is Downtown Disney District.
Yeah.
Are we shortening it to the district?
The
I kind of
district.
like it.
Do you?
I mean, I use DTD mostly in communication.
Same.
But I like the district.
I feel like, too, honestly, that would match up with what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Like giving it kind of a more modern name.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I thought this last week, I wonder why on the East Coast is Disney Springs. Downtown Disney, I think, is a great name.
I do, too.
And so I'm confused why they call it Disney Springs. I mean, I know that there's water.
Disney, Downtown Disney there,
yes,
too?
Yes, it did. And so I wonder why the change.
I don't know. Are we shortening that one to the Springs then?
The Springs in the district?
Why not?
So anyway, you're getting a couple of new shops in the district.
Got it. So only Lululemon going in the ESPN zone for now. Is it going to be just a ginormous Lululemon?
Maybe. I don't know where this Bopo Mofo Go right is going to be. But yeah, they don't say where they're putting that one, so who knows. And then we've talked about it before, but we're getting the Arthur & Sons Steak and Bourbon. Mm-hmm. And then we're getting Pearl's Roadside Barbecue, and that's kind of going over in that Tortilla Joe's footprint.
Yes.
The concept art was released this week. Both look really cool. And I'm excited because Pearl's Roadside Barbecue is going to be a quick serve eatery. And it's large, which the quick serve that they had there before was really small and had very limited seating, yes. And so I'm pretty excited. Nice. Mm-hmm. They both look really great.
I mean, with the addition of, what's it called, the Parkside Market, there is, some more quick service options. And Earl of Sandwich will still be around, but this will be nice to have something extra. I think a lot of people want to spend a day in the district. And not necessarily want to have to find reservations for a sit-down restaurant. So this will be great.
And
to have some more
barbecue, that's a
options.
good hearty meal that you can have for dinner. Whereas, I mean, recently, again, they've added some things. But prior to that, I mean, if you wanted a hearty meal for dinner your first night, it was a sit-down. You couldn't find a good quick-serve meal.
And now we've got Black Tap, Earl of Sandwich. We'll have Porto's coming soon, hopefully.
Eventually.
Who knows? And then this barbecue place, Parkside Market's got a handful of restaurants.
Glow up.
Love it.
Glow up, glow up, glow up.
Okay.
The district.
Go visit soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely. Star Wars. Star Wars is in full force.
Season of the Force.
The new Shadows of Memory, a Skywalker saga projection show started last week. People are loving it. I've seen a lot of, vloggers, influencers that went for opening night, said it was really, really cool. No fireworks because there aren't fireworks currently going through the week. I'm not sure on the weekends if they time it so it's not. Are there fireworks going right now?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they just time the projections.
Let's look
to be before or after fireworks.
Well,
because I know this one's not specifically timed to the fireworks the same way Fire of the Rising Moons is. It's just on its own.
And it's going now?
Yes.
Shadows
of Memory.
A Skywalker saga, 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. And then let me look at Friday night just to see because I'm looking at
because 9:30 would be right at fireworks.
Correct. So no.
Okay.
So on fireworks nights, it looks like Shadows of Memory is at 8:30 and 10:15 p.m. So after fireworks and before fireworks. And Fire of the Rising Moons is at 9:30.
Got it. Cool.
Speaking of nighttime entertainment, Fantasmic is going daily.
Starting the end of May.
Yes, which is regular. That happens pretty much every summer.
Yes.
Everyone's acting very excited about it.
Well, and you would think they would just coincide it with the 70th starting, right? But late May makes me think that it will be after Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Which is about a week after.
Well, let's look. Let's look at the middle of May, May 14th. I'm actually curious because I've had some people ask about the parade, which we've talked a little bit about this on the podcast, whether the parade will be nightly.
Mm-hmm.
And we think it will. It's still not showing up on the
schedule.
Correct. So I don't know.
We don't know yet. Mm-hmm.
And fireworks will be switching to daily, too, sometime in May. Because I can see on Wednesday, May 14th, there's Mickey's Mix Magic with fireworks at 9:30.
Huh.
So summer scheduling is coming soon.
Yes.
It's not solidified on the calendar quite yet, but it's coming soon. You can plan. If I were a betting girl, which I am, you can plan on Phantasmic nightly. World of Colors always nightly, so you can plan on that.
Yes.
I would bet that Paint the Night will be nightly and fireworks will be nightly.
Yes. And then it'll be interesting to see starting in August with Halloween starting a little bit earlier this year than even last year, which is crazy to me. Like, let's start Halloween in July.
In March.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they keep the Wondrous Journeys fireworks show around for the 70th stuff or if they will start doing Halloween Screams and pause Wondrous Journeys for a couple of months.
I think they'll pause.
I do too.
I think it'll be
but
Halloween-y.
we don't have any announcements about that yet. So stay tuned. And then when Christmas Fantasy would be slated to start back up again, will they pause Paint the Night for that? I don't think so. I think Paint the Night will go through the holiday season.
You do?
No, I do not. Well, maybe. Okay, so here's my thought.
Okay.
The swags, what are they called? The garlands that go across Main Street
are too tall for Frozen. Or too short for Frozen.
Too short for Frozen. I bet they're too short for Paint the Night.
That's what I'm saying. They're too short for the Frozen float in Paint the Night.
Yeah.
I bet it's Christmas.
So either they will just keep the Christmas parade around or they will not put the garland up because they have done that before.
That's right.
Where they don't put the garland up.
I'm curious.
I know. So we'll see.
Well,
lots of intrigue.
We'll keep you posted as we know.
Okay. And then in other Star Wars news, we have a foodie guide for Star Wars nights. It's some really pretty food. I don't know if it's going to taste good, but it looks pretty.
With weird names.
Always. And then Luke Skywalker, which got teased. Gosh, it's been a couple months since they teased that he would be doing a meet and greet. He's officially there in Galaxy's Edge. I think he does not look anything like Luke Skywalker. I'm sure he's a very lovely kid. He's not Luke Skywalker.
No.
He's no Mark Hamill.
You look like Leia right now. Speaking
with
of.
my buns.
Here, let me get a little picture of this.
I got my Leia buns.
Your little Princess Leia. You're wearing like a white snug shirt. Yes. It's very Leia.
Yeah. I'm ready for Hoth. And then all the merch that we talked about before. And then Hyperspace Mountain has reopened. Well, Space Mountain has reopened as Hyperspace Mountain, which is my favorite overlay.
Mine also.
For Space Mountain. There are some new lighting effects this year for the first time. So I don't know exactly what they are. I want to convince Heath to go for a Star Wars night.
For a quick Star Wars night getaway.
They're not
Star
sold
Wars
out.
nights. No, they are not. I was just going to mention that. So April 8th, 10th, 22nd, 24th, 29th, May 1st, 4th, and 6th. The only one that is sold out is May 4th. I'm surprised by that. I think that leads into Pride Night has not been announced for sale yet. And part of the reason I think that might be is because they're having such a hard time selling these Star Wars nights out that maybe they're not wanting to add another thing for people to buy. Buy these first, please.
Yes.
And then buy Pride Night.
Yeah. Because Pride Night does sell out pretty quickly.
It does sell out very quickly.
There's only two nights. So that's why. So maybe they won't offer as many Star Wars nights next year, but that's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. It's for food, there's some pre-order strategy. So there's some strategy for your Star Wars night dining experience that Disney has offered. Pre-order strategy. You're able to use, so if you are going to Star Wars night, take note. You're able to use mobile ordering starting at 8 p.m., even though the event doesn't start until a little bit later than that. You can start ordering at 8 p.m. You can enjoy dinner before the official event to maximize your time so that you're not waiting for food, which we've talked about that in relation to Oogie Boogie Bash, where you want to eat beforehand. And it looks like you can get some of those Star Wars meals starting at 8 p.m., which is great.
Yeah, that is great. I feel like they do that for most After Dark events. You can pre-order.
And then they end it with, "May the fork be with you."
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's stupid.
They do, when you do your mobile order, there will be a warning on there that says you must have tickets to this event to be able to pick this food up.
And let's talk about some of the items really quickly. So just a couple things. We're not going to read a menu today, but there's a pandan.
No idea.
I think we had this before, once upon a time. Although it says new, there's a Pandan milk tea, which
Okay.
is a taro cream and roasted shredded coconut milk tea.
Okay.
Sounds lovely.
Okay.
There's a bantha stroganoff.
Okay.
What's bantha again?
Bantha is the big
Mammoth-looking thing.
bison-looking,
Yeah.
like with the curly horns.
Well, you could have it in stroganoff
There
form.
you go.
Bengal Barbecue has a honey chipotle glazed kalbi rib. What's a kalbi?
I don't know.
I don't either, but you can eat its ribs.
Something from Star Wars.
And it comes with steamed broccoli, purple cabbage, and blue rice. It's very colorful.
Wow.
At Cafe Daisy, there's an Eope flop over.
Okay.
There's at Docking Bay 7 a taste of Dayu City,
Okay.
which is creamy mac and cheese, barbecue burnt ends, pork sausage, baby corn, pico nopal slaw. Guys, nobody knows what you're talking about.
I think my favorite thing in the pictures is whatever that drink is with the cute little frog gummy on it. That's my favorite.
Have I gotten to? Oh, it is cute. That is the Sorgan Cooler.
I like it.
It is a raspberry Powerade lemonade with mango popping spheres and a gummy frog.
Yeah. It's very cute.
How about this? Over at Edelweiss Snacks, we have the Navarro Lava Canyon bread with coleslaw. What do you think that might be?
With coleslaw. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's at Edelweiss Snacks. That should be your first clue.
It's a pretzel cheese bread,
It
but
is
with
a cheesy
coleslaw
pretzel
in
bread,
it?
which we're calling it canyon bread
Okay.
or Navarro Lava Canyon bread. I don't know. Anyway, it's your cheesy pretzel bread with barbecue smoked burnt ends and creamy slaw.
That sounds kind of
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yes.
I would try that.
That is absolutely a yes.
That's like a pulled pork sandwich with coleslaw on it.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember. That's Kansas City style or
That's Aaron's
Kentucky
kitchen style.
Tennessee style? I don't remember.
That is how we always have
St. Louis style.
pulled pork. The sliders strike back. What else? I'm just trying to see if there's fun. Scarif lemon cookie.
Mm.
Yeah, and then the swizzle sticks, which we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, some fun things.
Super fun
Mhm.
and lots of fun merch. I love
The pork belly sandwich.
Oh, of course. Is that doesn't say new on it, does it? Because
It does.
Oh, it
we
does.
talked about it though. I think it's part of
Okay.
Season of the Force.
that sounds really familiar.
Mm-hmm. Jolly Holiday is going to have a couple of things too. There's a salted caramel brownie macaron. It looks good. It looks blue. There's an imperial cheese fleet. Anyway, there's some fun stuff. Go to Star Wars Night. Let us know if
Super
it's fun.
I am also in love with the lightsaber swizzle sticks. I think those are so fun. Have you seen
Mhm.
pictures of those?
Mhm.
Those
They're
are
really
really
fun.
fun.
They look like the light up chopsticks.
So cute. Okay.
They have one more, and then I'm
Yeah.
done. I promise. Dagobah.
Dagobah.
Dagobah bite beignets. Yoda-shaped beignets dusted with matcha powder sugar and served with a side of matcha dipping sauce. They're definitely Yoda-shaped.
Green.
Yep, they're cute.
All right. We have news about entertainment coming. So we announced last week that the Disney Junior Dance Party was
Probably closing.
Well,
Did we say?
no, it was officially closed
Okay.
by the time we recorded. It was
Okay.
it was a surprise closing. Like they just closed
That's
it one
right.
day.
That's right. Okay.
But they announced what's coming next, and that is a new Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live. Not what we were expecting, but
I
okay.
think it's good.
we'll take it. It looks cute.
It does look really cute.
It's coming May 16th. It's inspired by the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, of course, and it will have some original songs. Sounds like a dance party,
And-
just like Disney Junior.
And the upcoming Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus debuting later this summer.
Got it. So there's a new series coming to Disney Plus that
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus.
that they are promoting with this show, I'm sure, which is what they do, and
That's
it's
funny.
fine. And then over in Disneyland, we have Stitch's Interplanetary Beach Party Blast returning to Tomorrowland on the Tomorrowland stage. That one's really fun.
May
I've-
23rd. Comes back.
I've walked by. I'm trying to think. I think we have actually sat for one of those before. But
I've
usually I'm
seen
walking
it.
by and just kind of see it happening.
I've seen Stitch over to the side when he's preparing to come out.
Yeah.
It's a dance along with, it may also feature Goofy, Pluto, Chippendale, Clarabelle, and other beloved pals to bop with.
Yes, and I think they have on like really cute Tomorrowland themed outfits too, which is fun.
Mhm.
And then over in the Fantasyland Theater, we have the Pixar Pals what's it called?
Pixar Pals Playtime Party. That's starting also on May 23rd.
And that is a returning show, but it'll be nice to have something in the Fantasyland Theater. So there's lots of shows to go and check out.
It'll be nice, but not this. This isn't what I would have put there. I feel like it's very, I mean, you have Pixar Pier, an entire property away.
Yeah.
And you're putting Pixar. It just feels very detached and not appropriate for that area.
Yeah, I think I would use the word shoehorned.
Yeah.
They're shoehorning a show in there. And it's something that they've already had before, so it's not super hard for them to put that on.
It's just a weird spot.
It feels like a placeholder. I'm sure there's something else coming to that theater eventually.
We need a show.
We do need a show. Yeah. We need a show in the Hyperion. We need a show in the Fantasyland Theater. We need shows. Lots and lots of shows. And then speaking of the pier being on all the way on the other side of the other park, we have a new Rex meet and greet coming this summer.
Which is fun.
Super fun.
He won't be able to hug. His arms are too
cute.
short.
He can maybe pat you on the head.
June 1st is when that's showing up.
It's awesome.
I think that will be fun. I love Rex.
Fun.
So that's fun.
And let's talk about Disney World for a second. Is that for Disneyland? Do we have any?
I think so.
I don't think there are any new refurbs. There's scrim going up in different places all the time. Surprise! The Golden Horseshoe has scrim up right now. There's some work being done on the right-hand side of the flower bed in front of the train station. Nobody knows what that is. Some of the new walkway by Small World has been revealed. It's a little bit different than it was before. So apparently they've been working on the walkway, which the refurb we didn't know we needed. Small World is opening up this month on April 25th.
That's right.
And we discussed this a little bit. Was it last week or a couple weeks ago?
I think it was last week.
But I did find some pretty concrete info that it is opening with the new characters and the new verse, April 25th.
Okay.
So not the middle of summer.
Okay, good to know.
Okay,
cool. Over at Disney World, they announced that the 2 water parks will be open, which hasn't been for a while.
Yes, and a lot of people have had questions about if you could visit both water parks. Oh, well, first, let's say this. There is a perk this year for all of 2025 that on your check-in day, if you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort, you get a free water park entry. It's been only one park or the other open. Currently, it's Blizzard Beach. It is filling to capacity. The people are being directed to park elsewhere and bus in, which that sounds miserable to me to be at a water park that's that full. And they're not huge water parks anyway. So, I mean, this has been a successful promo, I guess. Lots of people taking advantage. But now
Which surprises me.
I know.
Honestly, because unless you live on the East Coast and it's easy for you to get to Disney.
Early.
Yeah. The parks close at 5, 6 p.m. So you don't have a ton of time to spend there.
Yeah.
But they're opening up Typhoon Lagoon also. And they also announced that they're going to do the Disney H2O Glow After Hours at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon.
Fun.
This summer, it'll be select nights throughout the summer between May 23rd through September 13th. And it would be a fun thing.
For sure.
It's a ticketed event.
Yes. So this is not part of your free check-in day perk.
This
would
is
be
an after hours. Yeah. And if you're staying on Disney World property, you can purchase tickets starting April 1st, so a couple of days ago. When you're listening to this on Monday. Oh, Monday. Thanks for our new schedule. When you're listening to this on Monday, tickets will be on sale for the general public. So if you're going to be there sometime this summer and you'd like to do something like that, look into it. It looks fun. It looks like a fun activity.
And so what I was going to say earlier is a lot of people have said, could we go to both water parks? Could we try out Blizzard Beach for the morning and then move over to Typhoon Lagoon? It's not the case. In the verbiage, it says they can enjoy Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon. So you pick one or the other. This is the first time since 2019 that both parks have been open at the same time.
So it's new territory.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
And then also coming back for the first time in a long time is a luggage check-in service that Disney previously offered. Currently, they are only offering it at the value resorts and only for Southwest Airlines. So if you're flying Southwest and you want to take advantage of this perk, you check your luggage in at your resort the day that you're flying out, and they will deliver your luggage to the airport for you and check it in to be put on your plane for you. So you don't have to handle your luggage at all. So if you're wanting to go enjoy a park day or Disney Springs.
It's bizarre to me. It's so weird to me that it's value resorts and B, Southwest.
Yeah.
You're very pigeonholed into this particular demographic.
I think it's just a trial.
Right.
I think they're trying it out in small phases and then they'll expand it to the other resorts and other airlines. Because it was a perk before for all airlines, all resorts, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Aaron and I are not well versed in Disney World
Pre-COVID,
COVID,
yeah.
So,
But yeah, we'll
these
see.
are not things that we took advantage of.
I'm sad that I never got to take advantage of Magical Express.
Yeah,
So I would love if we moved into Magical
and it kind of
Express
sounds like
territory.
this is a step towards that, maybe, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
I did do Magical Express in 2019, and it was great.
Yeah,
I thought.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
So I think that's it for news. Countdown to Epic opening, countdown to the Disneyland 70th starting, countdown to summer.
Yep.
Here it comes.
Yay.
And we will be right back with our Disney World recap.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Calling all Disney enthusiasts dreaming of a magical escape? Look no further than Mouse World Travel, your Disney vacation experts.
Whether you're enchanted by the magic of Disney parks, setting sail with Disney Cruise Line, embarking on an Adventures by Disney journey, or relaxing in paradise at Aulani, we've got you covered.
Our team of experts will craft the perfect getaway tailored just for you. From park tickets and dining reservations to exclusive perks and personalized itineraries.
Ready to make your dreams come true? Visit mouseworldtravel.com and tell them Ropedrop and Parkhop sent you.
Mouse World Travel, where your Disney adventure begins. Disney World.
Last week we ended at Universal. We both hopped over to Disney World on different days. My family on Monday, Aaron's family on Wednesday. We got to stay at a bucket list resort, which, seriously, it's been on my bucket list since I first heard of Disney World.
And Polly, is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yes. So we got to stay at the Poly, and we stayed club level, which was really nice. I loved where our room was.
Did you?
In one of the main buildings, right on the beach. We had a view of the castle. We watched the fireworks from our room one of the nights.
So nice.
And club level is just fantastic, right? I think this one's my new favorite club level
Really?
on Disney World property. Yeah. Staff, all super amazing. It's a bi-level club. So downstairs in the Hawaii building, which is where we got to stay, there is like a concierge desk and a drink cooler, and they had water bottles.
They did.
They
Yay.
did.
You knew that last week when you were talking about not having water bottles.
This is the first club level I've ever stayed in on Disney World
That had
or
them.
at Disneyland that had water
Nice.
bottles. It was
That's
so
nice.
nice to just grab a water bottle and go, right? Or grab one on your way into the room at night to
Right.
take your old lady pills before you go to sleep. Anyway, really good food options, fun, tropical themed things.
Throughout the day.
A really
all
lovely
day long.
experience. And the club itself is almost like a 2-story with a big, giant picture window.
Okay.
Looking at the castle.
Oh, so
and
fireworks
you can
view.
watch fireworks from there, too.
Do they pipe
Yeah.
in music there too?
They do.
Okay.
The really cool thing is from our room, they told us, we turn to a certain channel to listen to the fireworks music. But if you've ever watched the fireworks from the beach in Poly, they pipe the music in right onto the beach. So all we had to do was throw open our window and we could hear the fireworks music right there. And then as soon as the fireworks are over, the beautiful, magical, what's it called? The water pageant, the electrical wave water pageant
so
starts.
cute.
It's the cutest thing
It really
ever.
is.
And I had forgotten about it in the Baroque hoedown music that's similar to the one that they play for the Main Street Electrical Parade started up. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Anyway, so we watched that from our window too. Anyway, it's just a really great spot. It's fun to be on the monorail. We did some resort hopping while we were there and tried every kind of Disney transportation that we could. Becky had never been on the Skyliner before, believe it or not. And she's been to Disney World a handful of times. She's just never stayed on property before.
Really?
Yeah. So that was really fun to introduce her to the Skyliner.
Did she like it?
She did.
It's
yes.
cute.
It's really fun. It's the best way to travel there.
I agree.
I really wish they would expand it to go to Animal Kingdom.
I do
and
too.
Some other places. I know that's logistically
And
harder
maybe,
than it sounds.
Well, yeah, and
but
maybe someday it'll be a thing. But yeah,
maybe. So when we got there Monday and checked in, it was extra evening hours for Epcot. And we hadn't planned on doing 5 park days. We only had 4-day tickets, but
I saw that you upgraded.
my kids were ready to go to Epcot, and we wanted to try out going on Guardians in the standby line and all of that. So we headed over to Epcot and took advantage of the extra evening hours. We went on Grand Fiesta Tour, which had just barely opened a couple days before, I think.
Yep.
We went on Living with the Land. We walked around World Showcase for a little bit, and then we got in line for Guardians when we saw the line was down around 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably about 60-minute
Okay.
wait. And the line wraps all the way outside.
It
now
does.
the standby line does. And yeah, got to go on Guardians. That was our.
What song did you get that time?
I think we got Disco Inferno,
Okay.
if I remember. It was either that or Blondie.
Okay.
No, I don't remember. But
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, it was a great time.
Good. I would
was-
love to do extra hours at Epcot. I
It's
think
pretty
it'd be
fun.
great.
Yeah. Good use of an
Extra hours at
ticket.
Epcot are Monday if you're staying at Deluxe,
Mhm.
and extra hours at Magic Kingdom are Wednesday if
Yep.
you're staying Deluxe.
Yep.
So,
Anyway,
yeah.
they were from 9 to 11. That would be right. I think Epcot closed
Yes.
at 9,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
that's when the nighttime show starts at Epcot is right at 9 o'clock as
Mhm.
well. So we happened to be just walking around the lagoon. Oh, we went back and jumped on Remy too. That's
Okay.
right at park closing.
Okay.
We went and jumped in line to do Remy. So
Okay.
we got a good 4 big rides in.
Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, for
Good.
sure.
It was
Yes,
worth it?
Yes,
Good.
and I knew we were doing an easy resort hopping day the next day, so I didn't mind staying up a little bit later that night. It worked out great.
Good.
We went to as many resorts as we could. That was pretty fun.
And checked them all
We
out?
checked them all out. We did not make it to Wilderness Lodge. I'm a little sad about that. That one's a little harder to get to because you have to hop off at Magic Kingdom and take a boat
Yep.
over. It's not really walkable. I think you can walk there from the Ticket Transportation Center.
I don't know. I've
I
never
don't
tried.
know. I feel like I probably should have tried it, so I
Right.
would know. But anyway,
That's okay.
we tried to get a little treat at each place that we stopped at too. So
Mhm.
at Riviera, we actually had quick service at Prima Piatto. We
What did you get there?
I did the tomato soup. It's my favorite thing.
It
There.
is really
Yeah.
good.
The boys had flatbreads and really loved them.
They have so we stopped there one
Mhm.
of our nights and got a snack, and they have chocolate strawberry fries.
Oh, yum! Yeah.
And so they're fries coated in cinnamon sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's chocolate sauce all over them and a cream cheese sauce and strawberries.
That sounds yum.
It was really good. And my
Even
kids,
though you don't like
I don't love strawberries,
yeah.
but I really liked it. And my kids even said it was the best snack they had the entire week
That's awesome. I
at
love
Primo
it.
Piatto.
Jack, who is my Disney World aficionado,
Okay.
he watches YouTube videos for days. He had heard about this monorail brownie that they have at the Contemporary, so
Okay.
he stopped and got that.
Okay.
And I took it.
Did he have a little list?
Yes,
Okay.
he totally had a list, and so he got that, and we sat in the little Contempo cafe that's right
Yeah.
there, and I took video of the monorail going by while he's like taking a bite out of his monorail
Cute.
brownie. It's a very cute video. I'll have to share it.
Yes.
We did beignets at Port Orleans.
Okay.
We where else did we stop?
You did go everywhere.
We went to the Grand Floridian and got some chapsticks in the little bath
Good.
shop. We stopped at. We kind of just flew over the Caribbean beach.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to try and take my family to Sebastian's because
Mhm.
it was such a fun experience
Right,
for us, and I
right.
feel like they would have enjoyed it. We didn't have time, but maybe
We
next
talked about
time.
it, too.
Yeah, it's just such a
It's
cute,
great.
awesome restaurant.
It
and
really
our
is.
server was awesome when we were there. Like it
Gary.
was just really fun.
Yeah.
Where else did we go? What other resorts? We did it all.
And that was just
we went to Animal Kingdom Lodge and ate at
Sana.
Sanaa that evening
Nice.
with the animals at sunset. That was really fun. And yeah,
And so it
And
was
we-
just a resort hopping day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
it was really fun. I
Cool.
love doing that kind of stuff.
I do
Like,
too.
I love the park days too, but it's really fun to do more of a relaxing. Although,
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like we got just as many steps
So
in doing that.
we
but-
had a day off also,
Mhm.
which was planned to be a resort hopping day. For us, it ended up being an emergency room day.
Right.
I wanted to mention this really quick. I didn't mention this last week, but and it's kind of along the lines. We talked a little bit about the emergency room visits. I wanted to mention that Disney actually was really fantastic about it. One of my friends who is a nurse and is also a Disney frequenter, when she knew about what was going on with Lyndon, she said, go to the guest services at Disney
Mhm.
and they will help you. And I was like, really? She says, yes, use their resources. So when we went to the emergency room, they got us a taxi. They covered the taxi, getting us to the emergency room.
Wow.
They helped us know where we were going and what we were looking for. So if you do end up having something similar to that where you need some assistance, go to guest services and they will help you get there. And they told us that they would cover the taxi back
Mhm.
if we paid for it. Once we got back, we'd run in and grab a voucher to give to the taxi cab driver. We ended up just getting an Uber because the taxi service was Mears. And I took notes because, first of all, the car was filthy. And He started driving before Lyndon was all the way in the car. He started pulling forward as she was getting in the car. Her door wasn't even shut yet. And I was like, oh, get in, shut your door. And he didn't even slow down when I said that.
Wow.
And his check engine light was on and it was covered up by a piece of electrical tape. And so I was like, we'll just Uber back.
How funny.
So your mileage may vary with this. And he was not rude, but he was just kind of like, I was like, are you here for us? And he's like, where are you going? And I was like, to this particular, and he was like, get in. And I was like, okay. And he never really, I don't know, it was bizarre.
Yeah.
And so I didn't love that experience, but they did help us. And so maybe it was just we got a rough ride.
Yeah.
But go to guest services if you need help. They have first aid at the front desk. They have nurses in every park. And we went one night, talked to a nurse in Magic Kingdom. But they'll help you get where you need to go if you need to go somewhere. And I've heard they have staff that they can send to your room if you need a room call. I don't know if that's true. We didn't do that, but
Cool.
yeah. But they were great to work with.
Awesome.
Side
I love
note.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know.
But my kids went and did a little resort hopping that day while we were gone.
Oh,
and they
good.
said it was their favorite day. They said it was just
Good.
kind of fun to be chill and wander around and check some stuff out. They went and got beignets at Port Orleans French Quarter. And yeah, we really like those down days.
Yeah, and it's fun because you, at Disney World especially, you are in this bubble, right?
Yeah.
So even just resort hopping, you still feel the Disney magic pretty much everywhere you go.
Totally.
So yeah, it's a lovely way to spend a day, and it's a really good chance to recharge your batteries in between park days so that you don't burn yourself out.
I agree.
And then Wednesday morning, we rope dropped Magic Kingdom, and here's a mistake we made. We wanted to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We did early entry, which started at 7:30, I believe. Oh, no, it started at
8:30?
8:30, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were, we took the monorail. We were on the monorail by 7:45, got to the front gates right around 8, walked straight back to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. The line was already wrapped pretty far around the mountain, but we got in line and then could hear the cast members saying, it's not opening right away. If you want to be patient, that's fine. But, you can either stay in line or get out of line.
Right.
We sat and I sent Heath and Jack to go off and get a breakfast snack. And I think they rode Barnstormer and came back. And Noah and I were still in the same place in line. Anyway, we ended up waiting probably an hour and 20 minutes for it to open, which wasted all of our early entry time.
And then some.
Right. And so we did that. We went and rode Haunted Mansion, and then we had to check out of the Poly by 11 to move over to our new hotel, which I'll talk about in a second. But our boys wanted to go ride Tron and Space Mountain, and I said, fine, you guys can meet us at Epcot, which that's awesome, right? It's so fun when your kids
And
are
also
old
a little
enough.
heartbreaking.
A little bit, but also I was like, that's really cool that they're just going to go
I know.
spend time together while we go do the luggage and move over and the boring stuff that they don't really need to. I mean, we didn't need their help necessarily. Right. So Becky and Heath and I got checked out of the Poly and took an Uber over to the Swan and Dolphin, which I was not super excited to stay in the Swan and Dolphin.
They're ugly.
Yes, we had points, and so that was a really nice, perk.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pass up
Absolutely.
a free hotel
It's a
room
Marriott
at Disney
property.
World.
So if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member, Swan and Dolphin may be your answer at Walt Disney World.
It's just hard to leave the Poly for the Swan and Dolphin.
I believe that.
We had 2 connecting rooms, and so it was plenty of space. We didn't have a ton of space at the Poly. We had 5 people in a
hotel room.
a 2-queen with a what's it called? The day bed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to have more space. They're very nice, clean rooms. I had heard from a listener beforehand that Swan rooms are better than the Dolphin rooms just because I think they're more recently refurbed and they have queen beds.
Yes, versus full.
Yes, the Dolphin has full. I do believe the Dolphin rooms on the one side probably have awesome park views.
Yes.
And the Swan is kind of tucked back behind the Dolphin, so not as good of views from that side. We loved it, actually.
Did you?
Yes, I thought it was great. They have great restaurants and great little snack options. There's a fun little 50s style diner in the
cute.
Dolphin that we went and had a giant pretzel and some fries and milkshakes in one day. I did miss being able to use our magic bands to open the doors. It was kind of a pain to pull out hotel keys, but I mean, you have to do that at a regular hotel too. I was just a little spoiled from Disney stuff, right? Anyway, I thought it was a really great experience. It's a
great
beautiful
location.
hotel. Yes, walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, or you can hop on friendship boats to go either direction. They have a dock right next to the hotel, which at Boardwalk and Yacht and Beach, those docks are kind of a little bit of a walk to any of the hotel rooms. So we would hop off the boat and like be in our room in 2 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Which is really nice.
That is nice.
And so, so there's some of the perks of staying there. I did find out that there's no water park benefit at Swan and Dolphin, but they do have the other benefits of a deluxe resort, which is the early morning entry and extra evening hours. And what else do deluxe guests get?
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. You can book your lightning lane 7 days in advance when you're staying there, same as any other on-property place. But yeah,
cool.
I would do it again for sure.
Cool.
Especially at that price point. They're a little bit lower price point than some of the other deluxe hotels.
Yeah, they're ugly.
The inside,
Just kidding.
The inside is actually really
and I've
pretty.
heard they're so nice from more than just you.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's a great location.
Yeah.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Department of Defense is working with Google to help secure America's digital defense systems, from establishing cloud-based zero-trust solutions to deploying the latest AI technology. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
We moved over to Walt Disney World on Wednesday, and we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside the entire time. You've never stayed at Port Orleans Riverside, have you?
I haven't.
We loved it.
That's awesome.
Loved it. And we had just 2 queens and a drop-down bed, and I think ours was not a full twin-size bed. I think you guys probably had a twin-size bed at Poly. We had a child-size bed.
Okay.
But Lyndon is 11, and she is probably 5'2", and she was fine.
Okay,
she
good.
fit on it just fine. She was comfortable. She didn't feel like she was cramped at all. I would say maybe up to 5'5". It's probably your max on that bed.
So once your family gets a little bit older, it'll be harder to squeeze into one of those rooms.
Yeah. And you spend so little time in the room anyway that we kind of were like, okay. And, the beds at Disney are lifted with emptiness underneath them. So you can tuck your suitcases away. You don't have things all over the room. It was easy to keep the room nice and clean. We felt like we had plenty of space. But we absolutely loved Port Orleans Riverside. It's a big resort, not as big as like Caribbean Beach. It's very wooded. And so it felt very, in fact, Kenley, one night when we were walking from the main building out to where our room was, you have to go kind of similar to Caribbean Beach, where you have to go over to an island, Old Man Isle, and then you cut over and you take another bridge over to the area. We were in Alligator Bayou is where our room was. And she said, it feels like girls' camp. She's like, it feels like when you have to go use the bathroom and you're at girls' camp and you have to go out in the middle of the night. It felt very wildernessy and rugged.
Like secluded.
Yeah, and it was lovely. And I've heard in some of the moderate resorts, the walls can be thin. And we didn't hear anybody.
Oh, good.
The entire time. It was great. They're refreshing them a little bit. And so I think the day we got there, our building was being painted.
Oh.
And it didn't bother us at all. And then it was done that day. I think they were finishing our building up. So it was freshly painted outside.
Nice.
So it was really cute. Tons and tons of trees, lots and lots of water.
Some of the rooms over there are Princess and the Frog themed, right?
Are they?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Ours was. Ours was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, yes.
I'm
ours
trying
was.
to remember if they said they were doing all of them Princess and the Frog themed or if it was going to be just select rooms. But
I don't know.
they have been refurbing them for a while.
So maybe in Alligator Bayou, that would make sense, right? Louis was the art.
Cute.
Louis, not Louis. Louis. Louis was the art when you pulled the bed down. So yes, we had a Princess and the Frog room.
Okay, cool.
Funny that you say that. I had to think for a second.
Yeah.
What else?
And that seems to be like the new thing that Disney is doing. Every room is getting
Like they have
Disney
a resort theme.
right?
Yeah.
Which has not always been the case,
Right.
Like for instance, the Contemporary has recently been redone with all Incredibles themed rooms.
Yeah.
Like every room is Incredibles themed now.
What else can I tell you about it? The main lobby is fantastic. The pool area, my kids used it one of the times that we were at the emergency room. My older 2 kids went and used it, and they really liked it. It looked lovely. It was very busy frequently. They had hammocks throughout the island where you could kind of just chill.
Fun.
We saw lizards and frogs, and it was great. We really, really enjoyed it. And we stayed over in that Alligator Bayou area. Our bus depot, which was maybe a 4-minute walk from our room, was the second stop. And so we never had an issue with the bus being too full.
Oh, good.
So this is a little tip for you if you are going to be staying anywhere on Disney property, but specifically this resort. Kind of familiarize yourself with that bus route and try to request a room that's near the beginning of it because there were days they do fill up, and there were days where we couldn't pay any more people up at the lobby because the lobby was the very last spot that they stopped at.
That's
and
hard.
so you had a line of people just waiting to get on the bus, and full bus after full bus came by.
Yeah, especially those value and moderate resorts where they're kind of sprawling and bigger.
Yep.
The buses do tend to fill up.
And that is one of the resorts that only has bus transportation anywhere, which I thought would kind of bug me because I love the Skyliner.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it didn't bother me.
I think you make do with what you've got and you make the best of it. They also have friendship boats to
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs,
The Springs.
which that's one of my favorite boat rides. It's so pretty.
It is lovely. Down the Sassagoula River.
Next to the golf course with the Mickey-shaped sand trap. I just think it's really magical.
It is great. And so we did that a couple of times. And we had a similar situation when Lyndon and I were in the emergency room. Kenley and Asher went and did their own thing for a little while. And then we had another situation where Asher wanted to, later in the week, where Asher wanted to go ride Tower of Terror, of course. And we were in Epcot. And so he and Lyndon went and caught the Skyliner and went over to Epcot. And so we had a situation, too, where I sent my kids off to go do something.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's great. But also I watched
You
them
just had
walk
a
away
moment.
and I was just like, oh, they
Yeah.
don't need me anymore. And
Yeah.
it's a little bit sad. Anyway.
It is.
But we loved it. Highly, highly recommend. In fact, my family said, we don't know if we can stay anywhere else, which kind of made me
Aw.
chuckle. I was like, well, we can't stay there a whole lot longer because we won't fit.
Right,
But
right.
we really loved it. 10 out of 10 for everybody in our
Awesome.
party. Yeah. It's a beautiful resort.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I've not stayed in one of the rooms there, but I've explored
It's
the
just
resorts,
so
and they are
cute.
very pretty. And I've heard that the pools are family favorites. Like those are some of the pools that
Yeah.
people would choose over any other, maybe besides
Beach and yacht.
Yeah, which is under refurb right now.
Right,
So not a
right.
choice anyway.
No.
Okay, let's talk about VIP tour day.
Let's talk about
shall
it.
we?
Let's talk about the beginning first, really
Okay.
quick, before we go too far into it. That morning, we met at 1:30 for our VIP tour, and we were meeting at the entrance of Animal Kingdom to start our VIP tour. So I think both of us started at Animal Kingdom that day. We ran into each other as you guys were getting off Dinosaur and we were getting on.
One
Waste
last
of
time on Dinosaur.
Waste of time. Worst ride ever. Not sorry to see it go. But we kind of puttered around Animal Kingdom a little bit and had lunch at Satuli Canteen,
Yes.
which also you did.
Yep.
But not together.
No.
We didn't even see
We
you.
staggered.
We saw him a couple times throughout the day. We knew we were meeting up later. But here's your foreshadowing, guys. As we were walking out of Pandora to head up front to meet up with the VIP group, we saw two plaids coming toward us, and you always play the game, are they rich or are they famous? And so I was looking, and it was two plaids with a not huge group, but not big enough to be two plaids. So I was kind of like piqued that they had two plaids with them. And so I looked, and as I passed them, you know how your brain, when you see somebody, you're like, that person's familiar. Who is it? Who is it? And you're trying to process it. It was Scarlett Johansson. And so it took me just a moment as she was walking into Pandora with her group, and I was walking out of Pandora to process it. And I was like, I told my kids, I was like, that was Scarlett Johansson. And we turned around, and you couldn't see her face anymore. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, pretty sure. And I looked at the group, and I couldn't tell if her husband, Colin Jost, was with her. Foreshadowing, he was. And anyway, I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
Yeah, but we had a very lovely VIP tour day.
We did.
Our tour guide was named Igor, which I really wanted to ask him
How he got it?
how he got that name, and I didn't ever get a chance to. But
He was great.
we rode so many rides
We
that
did.
day. He was fantastic at getting us where we needed to go and like pivoting when, one person didn't necessarily want to ride a ride.
Yeah.
And he
Found
accommodated
something
us
else
really
for them
well.
to do.
I seriously, VIP tours are so spoiling.
I
It's-
agree.
It's really hard to tour the parks another way.
I agree. And we kind of had made, this was our first park day as a family. And we kind of had made this, we had this idea in our head that this was the day we were going to get everything we wanted to get done, which we did. And then each additional day, if we didn't get things done, we didn't feel so bad about it
Right.
because we had gotten it done on that day.
Right. You could do other things.
He was great about putting us on rides, getting us waters. It was a warm
Snacks.
day.
Yeah, all the things. And then it rained a little bit at one point, and he made sure that we, got to the van quickly. And
Yeah.
it was just a really, really lovely day.
And the van is so nice
It is so nice.
to go backstage and to get where you need to go quickly.
Cuts your park hopping time by like 100th.
It's so much nicer. It's worth it for that alone.
Yes.
He was fantastic.
We got to go on Guardians twice in a row, which was kind of fun. Although the second time we went, the line slowed down quite a bit. So I
And
felt
he
like
had
we
gone to get us ice cream.
Yes, and so the ice cream was a little bit melty.
It was soft.
It was fine. It was still yummy. But yeah, and then we timed it so that we could end the night at fireworks in the, what did they call it? The garden. the plaid garden, the viewing garden, but it's a grassy area.
It's part of the
that's
hub.
gated off and is reserved for VIP viewing. No seats, where at Disneyland, if you get VIP fireworks viewing, there are chairs and benches.
Yeah.
Here, not so much, but you can sit on the grass, which was fine. It worked out great.
It was totally fine.
Yes.
And everybody was sitting on the grass. And there was plenty of room. We weren't packed in.
No.
And it was just, again, everyone who'd been on VIP tours throughout that day. So I had my peepers peeped for Scarlett Johansson and did not see her. And so we sat, and fireworks were about to begin. It was what? They started at 8:30. It was what, like 8:28?
Yes.
And
he went and got us one last round of snacks
Yes.
to enjoy while we watched the fireworks.
And this little toddler comes toddling over, and he's in front of me. And I kind of, as a mom, when you see a kid without a parent, you kind of perk up a little bit just to make sure there's somebody paying attention. And so I was kind of watching this little 2-3-year-old boy wander around. And then finally his dad came over, and he didn't want anything to do with his dad. Like, he wanted to explore.
They were struggling, yeah.
Yes, they were. And so dad squats down next to him, trying to convince him to come back over to sit down and watch fireworks. And fireworks start. And kid does not want to go watch fireworks. So dad decides that he's going to stand up right in this spot to watch fireworks, which was directly
right
in front of us.
Oh, I mean, it was enough over to the side that I don't think that he realized what was going on.
Right.
And he's struggling with this sweet little toddler.
Right.
We've all been there.
Right. But he stood right up in front of us. And I'm saying like 5 feet in front of us. And fireworks start, and his head is right where fireworks are. And so I looked at Katie and I was like, how are people so unaware? Like, how do you not know that you're blocking the view of somebody? But I wasn't going to do anything. It was fine. I was going to just watch the fireworks. And then he squats down and picks his kid up, and his kid's up on him too. And now it's like double wide people, and now I can see nothing pretty much. So from my little spot, fireworks are going, music is going, it is loud. I'm like, excuse me. And he didn't hear me. I'm like, sir, excuse me. And he turns around. And as he's turning around, I'm like, we can't see through you. And then realize that I'm yelling at Colin Jost. And I turned and looked at Katie. Katie's mouth is on the floor, like her jaw is on the ground. And we just busted out laughing. I yelled at Colin Jost.
Yeah. And I felt bad for him. Like, he was really struggling. And they seemed like the cutest, sweetest little family.
Totally.
Too.
And I wasn't rude about it, but I was just like, sir, we cannot see through you. Could you just move to the side a little bit? I wasn't rude. I'm not typically rude, but I was just like, excuse me, we can't see through you, you know.
And then sure enough, we look over to the right, and there's Scarlett Johansson with her cute little daughter.
Like 10 feet from us.
Yeah. But anyway, that was fun.
And she came over a minute later and tried to convince the kid to come back over, and he still didn't want to, but they ended up finally moving everybody back over to their space and watching. But anyway, I teased about it. That's how I yelled at Colin Jost. It wasn't that big a deal. I was very dramatic about it because it was hilarious. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But
I just kind of felt bad for them. Like, celebrities are just like us. They struggle with their kids too.
That was what we said. We were like, look at them living life just like us. And honestly,
nobody's immune to it.
I really didn't yell at him. I just was like, we can't see through you. Like, could you just step to the side? And I'm sorry that your kid is being. And it was 8:30 at night, and I don't fault them at all. It's just hard sometimes when you're. It's just a reminder to be aware of the people around you too.
Sure, but that's hard to do.
It is.
Wrestling a toddler.
Totally.
Anyway, so we both enjoyed a few more days at the park and came home and were tired for a few days.
I'm trying to think of things that I wanted to share about the parks, things that we did. Gosh, I have things. We're probably, honestly, because we're running out of time.
Well,
we're probably
going to talk more about it.
I was going to say talk more about it next week. And like I said, the kids want to come in and be part of this too.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do a whole
recap
with them and some tips and strategies, because I'm sure they've got some ideas.
Yeah.
Also.
Our last day, and I think you did this on your last day too, we did all 4 parks our last day. We did at least one attraction in each park.
I think we park hopped every day, and we did 4 parks 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Including the VIP.
And then Friday we did all 4 parks, and I think Saturday we did all parks.
We did all 4 on our last day. I think we stayed pretty much at Magic Kingdom on Sunday, which my kids, I think I've told you in the past that my kids really love Hollywood Studios the most. They changed that this time. They've decided Hollywood Studios isn't their favorite. Asher loves Magic Kingdom, he's decided, which is kind of funny to me. Because
is it the Haunted Mansion?
Part of it is the Haunted Mansion, yeah. And again, he went and rode that a couple times on his own. our final night, the girls wanted to go ride Tiana's one last time. He wanted to go ride Haunted Mansion. Neither of them sounded good to me, so they went and did that, and I went and sat by the castle, and we did the dining plan as part of our...
let's talk about that next week a little bit more,
we'll talk more about that.
And some new places that we got to eat and all the flower and garden stuff. There's so much more to talk about.
And I'll talk about whether or not I recommend the dining plan.
Yeah.
And
there's
then,
your cliffhanger.
There's your cliffhanger. Yeah, that's what's going to keep you coming back for more. Okay, this is what I was going to say. Right now, currently, Animal Kingdom is closing at 6 p.m. a lot of nights, but on the weekends, it looks like moving forward, it's going to be open until 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And sunset's around 8 o'clock. And so we ordered Satuli Canteen for our final night for dinner, and we ordered it to be picked up at 7:55 p.m. Picked it up, sat and took our time eating it, and then by the time we were done, it was dark out.
You got to enjoy the bioluminescence.
We got to enjoy the bioluminescence and walk around and check it all out, and we loved it so much. And so that's something that I totally recommend. If you're going this time of year, try to schedule yourself as late as possible in Pandora because it's amazing. And they don't rush you.
Yes. Or hop on Flight of Passage at 7:59 or whenever, and you'll be able to time it just right, too.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, okay, so this is your weekly reminder then to follow us on Instagram at Ropedrop.Parkhop. I'm sure we'll be sharing more pictures from the trip going forward. And follow us on Facebook. Our fun discussion group, Rope Dropping and Park Hopping, is where it's at.
It is. And also, if you haven't already rated and subscribed to the podcast, please give us a rating, a review, subscribe to the podcast, share us with your friends, join us on the Patreon.
Yes, please.
And
all the things.
Yeah, we'll see you next week with some more Walt Disney World.
Bye.
Bye.